Start on our vocabulary learning by networking trick. Okay, the word we start with is unequivocal. So let's learn the pronunciation trick from two different point of views. Let's see how the American and the British pronunciations come out. Here we go for the pronunciation.
Unequivocal.
So here is the British pronunciation.
Unequivocal.
Yeah, what it means. Let's go to the synonym portion. It's an adjective. It can be used as an adjective. It is an admitting of no doubt or misunderstanding, clear and unambiguous. So here are the thesaurus component. It's very equal is unequals, admitting of no doubt or misunderstanding, having only one meaning or interpretation. Okay, the antonyms are ambiguous and equivocal, whereas the synonym goes as univocal or unanimous voice, something like that. Okay, it's an unequivocal success, an unequivocal promise, took an unequivocal position, unequivocal evidence, etc. So if you want to see, so the related word is unambiguous. Ambiguity is dilemmatic, and ambiguous is when it's being equivocal, unequivocal. So what are the antonyms? Is ambiguous and equivocal. Ambiguous meaning having two ideas or two possibilities, giving room to two possibilities or dilemma, etc. Okay, so what is the other way of using unequivocal is here it is there, it's called definitive. Okay, so it's the usages. We will go to the real how it is used in the synonym component. The clear, absolute, definite, certain, direct, straight, positive, plain, evident, black and white. Talk black and white like that. Decisive, it will be very clear cut decisions. Decisive, explicit, be obvious. Talk it out, something like that. Being open, something like that. Manifest, it clearly manifest. That's how we use. Clear cut, that's another way we use to describe it. Unmistakable, unambiguous, cut and dried. These are informal way of using. Incontrovertible, indubitable. Dubitable is dupable. It can be duplicatable. Something like indubitable is something equivalent to unequivocal. Okay. Nailed on. These are a slang way of telling it. Here are some references in classic literature. After an unequivocal experience of the inefficacy of the subsisting federal government, you are called upon to deliberate on a new constitution for the United States of America. This we can say, like after they experiencing the unequivocal, univocal experience, they want everything to be deliberatable, or they want a system which is very univocal. Okay. Another thing, this is part of the Federalist paper authored by Alexander Hamilton. We'll take another one by Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm by Wiggin Kate Douglas. Rebecca herself had fashioned an elaborate tea cozy with the letter M in the outline stitch and a pretty frilled pin cushion marked with a J for her two arms. Okay, it's just a cloth. So that taken all together, the day would have been an unequivocal success had nothing else happened. So, but something else did. So this is another beautiful way of using it. It's one other way from Autobiography of a Pocket Handkerchief by Cooper James Fenimore. Okay, love she did not bet Shoreham, for that was a passion. Her temperament and training induced her to wait for some pretty unequivocal demonstration on the part of the gentleman before she yielded to it. That is a kind of a honesty. Okay, pretty unequivocal. That is what is pretty. Being unequivocal or being universal, univocal is more prettier for a gentleman. But she liked him vastly, and nothing would have been easier than to have blown his smouldering preference into a flame. Okay, there are many more usages. We will stop. Here are some similar sounding words: unequivocally, unequivocally, pinnate, unequalness, unequipped, unequitable, unequity, unequivocal, unequivocally, unequivocalness, etc. These are all in a dictionary how the in unequal bit again. From here we network into another word called equivocal. Let's hear the pronunciations, the American pronunciation
equivocal,
and the British pronunciation.
equivocal, equivocal, equivocal,
Now we have the neutral one. It's equivocal, open to two or more interpretation, and often intended to what you call mislead. That is what is meant here. We call it often intended to mislead, of uncertain significance, of a doubtful or uncertain nature. This is the explanation of it. Can be an equivocality, equivocally. These are the adverb and the noun positions. That's how American Heritage Dictionary expresses. Equivocal is the adjective way of using the capable of varying interpretation. Okay, deliberately misleading or vague, of doubtful character. The party's commitment to genuine reforms is equivocal. Okay, it is not 100% unequivocal. So it is adjective, equivocal, open to two or more interpretation, of uncertain nature. Popularity is an unequivocal crown, an equivalent response to an embarrassing question. The officer's equivocal behavior increased the victim's uneasiness. So, an equivocal statement. The polling had a complex and equivocal message for potential female candidates. Like this, the real answer is the synonym is ambiguous. Okay, the related words are ambiguous, having more than one possible thing. The antonym is unequivocal, univocal, and ambiguous, etc. Equivocal's other usages open to questions. Of equivocal loyalty. His conscience reproached him with the equivocal character of the union into which he led forced his son. He had forced his son. That says Hannah Jameson. It's called questionable is another usage. Equivocal as uncertain as sign or indication. Evidence from bacteriologic analysis was equivocal. Okay, it is not clear. It's not clear cut. Inconclusive. So that's when we call equivocal. Okay, what are the real synonyms? Ambiguous, uncertain, misleading, obscure, suspicious, vague, doubtful, dubious, questionable, ambivalent, indefinite, evasive, oblique, interminate, prevaricating, oracular, etc. Okay, so we will go up to them. Reference in classic literature: Peter Van Tromp, an English-speaking two-legged animal of the international genus and by proportion of general and more than equivocal utility. This is from Tales and Fantasies by Stephen Robert Lewis. Okay, Pride and Prejudice by Austen Jane. Here he says Elizabeth saw directly that her father had not the smallest intention of yielding, but his answers were at the same time so vague and equivocal, okay, that her mother, though often disheartened, had never yet despaired by succeeding at last. 20 years after, by Dumas Alexander, de Attagnan, however, gathered from his equivocal replies that the road to the right was the one he ought to take, etc. From here we go to one of its related word of obscure.